Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be in your various lives this evening. Your God is too faithful to fail. We can't bring you this far in parenting and disappoint you. I'm so passionate about raising super kids, raising godly seed, kids, raising children that will make you proud in your old age. I've said it before, and let me say it again. Good evening, everyone. Your health is your marriage. Your wealth is your marriage. Your happiness is your marriage. The happiness of your children is your marriage. Some of you may not be bothered about your health. You may not be bothered about your wealth. You can choose to go broke. You may not be bothered about your happiness. But you have no choice, because when your kids are happy in their various homes, well-trained, well-nurtured, mentally stable, emotionally stable, psychologically stable, then they will remember there's a grandma somewhere, there's a grandpa somewhere. A child that is not happy in her marriage, that the kids are not comfortable living with them when they were growing up, definitely they're going to lose them in their old age. So if you're not bothered about your health, good evening, you're not bothered about your wealth, you're not bothered about your happiness, I'm sure something should be a concern to you, the happiness of your children. And because of that, there's no price that is too high to pay and to pay to raise your kids and be sex-wise as parents. I'll repeat myself intentionally. There's no price that is too high to pay and to pay to be sex-wise as parents. Whatever it will cost you, whatever denial you have to put forth, sacrifice, determination, everything that is needed to put sanity into the souls of your children, go for it, full blast, and let it be full blown. It will be too costly, it will be too expensive to raise your kids and having labor physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, labor. You will now end up having kids that are damaged. Some people are hearing me today. If you can trace the root of your problems and challenges, you will know that it is your background that has put your back on the ground. If you are hearing me today and your story is like that, just make a decision. I'm going to rewrite my history. I'm going to rewrite my story. I'm not going to allow my background to put my back on the ground. I will do everything in my capacity and my ability to make sure that I'm not going to be weeping, feeling abandoned, feeling lonely, not having a child that would be emotional with you, comfort you, give you succor in your old age. Listen, parents, as you lay your bed, you will lie on it. Honestly speaking, there's nothing like tomorrow. Everybody tomorrow starts today. Yesterday is today. Today is today. Tomorrow is tomorrow. Somebody should help me to write it down. I welcome everyone. Honestly, it's been wonderful to have you on this platform. I really appreciate you. It's been a very busy day for me. It actually took sacrifice and determination and resiliency to tell myself I don't want to break this flow. And I'm grateful that I could still come up and do something tonight. Being sex-wise as parents is a lot of work. I will do this by the grace of God over and over again. Thank you for thumbs up on Facebook, on Instagram. You can follow me on YouTube. My channel is funkeadetuberu. You can always listen to any of the episodes that you miss in all of this, because understanding makes you to stand. Understanding makes you to be outstanding. There's no one that is standing on, that is outstanding, that is not standing on something. There's something you are standing on that makes you to be outstanding. You are standing on something, that's why you are really outstanding. And in all honesty, I've checked over and over again, and I've sat down to think, and I've told myself, parenting. There are several types of parents. I said it last week, but I'm taking you to another level today. Parents that are emotional, hear me tonight. If you're an emotional parent, start stabilizing yourself. Baby cannot give birth to a baby. Your husband is a baby, you're a baby, then you gave birth to a baby. You're going to turn that baby to a baby. As a parent, how do I know that I'm an emotional parent? When anything happens, these are wrong parenting. If anything happens, you are scattered, you are shattered, you are not together, you can't compose yourself or comport yourself to address the matter intelligently and intentionally. You are not healthy emotionally. Emotional parents, they are the kind of parent that swings like a pendulum. Today is cold, tomorrow is warm, next tomorrow is summer, the other day is winter. If you are like that, you are going to be raising children that are not going to be sex wise, because they will believe that every action and reaction, whatever you do is supposed to be, is part of life. And when you find yourself in that kind of situation as parents, you are confusing your children. Thank you for watching. You are confusing your children. If you are an emotional parent, little thing you cry. I had some sessions with some of my clients yesterday, and the lady was actually, she's lost, she's depressed, she's losing it, and she said one of the days she just went out to cry. She was crying, and two of her boys came and said, "Mommy, is it daddy that beats you again or said something to you?" Thank you from Ghana. Thank you for watching. You know, said something to you again. And she said yes. The children went back to their dad to apologize, because the man said she should leave the house and get out of his house. Came back again, apologized, to the dad. And at the end of the day, the daddy said they should come in. That man who is emotionally unstable would have been feeling good. You are not good. You don't have a future as a man. You will feel good now because you are an emotional parent. You will feel comfortable now that, yes, it was your mother that came to beg me, but you are destroying a generation. Those two boys, take it to the bank, they can't be good husbands. I'm passionate about what I'm saying now. I have so much to tell you today. Let me just come gently. I said, those two boys that were going back and forth to beg their daddy to take their mommy in at age 8 and 11. No, 11 and 5. They were to prostrate, beg the daddy, "Please don't let my mommy go. Bring my mommy back in. Please, mommy. Please, daddy, please." And after some plea, the man said the wife should come in. And that man would think he's a man. You are not a man, you are a boy. Please, somebody help me to agree. You are not a man, you are a boy. If it's your children that will be pleading on behalf of your wife, the mother of your children, you just produce spermatozoa, you are a boy. I said it before. You can produce a sperm and you are not a man. As a woman, you can menstruate at the end of the month and lactate, but you are not a woman. Manhood and womanhood is maturity. If you are not emotionally matured, a little disagreement, misunderstanding will so much get to you that you'll be feeling fly when everybody is begging you. It's a shameful thing. You are destroying your future. Don't forget. I started by saying your health is your marriage. Your wealth is your marriage. Your happiness is your marriage. I'm not breaking it down today. The happiness of your children when you are old and your hand, you want to put food in your mouth, your hand is shaking. You have to wear diaper. They have to put food in your mouth. If your kids are not happy in their homes, if they are not having fun, enjoying daddy and mommy together. If it's only one person that is available, fine. If they are not enjoying the two of you, the person they are not enjoying, guess what? Is an accident that is about to happen. You are just living on a borrowed time. They are going to show you the results of your examination when you are 70, when you are 80, when you are 90, if you are going to live up to that. Listen to me. As parents, if you are emotionally unstable, you act like a pendulum, you are not matured, your children will not confide in you. I've said that last week, I'm not saying that again. If you are the kind of a parent that you are not predictable, hey, if mommy hears down, mommy will kill me. Hey, mommy, daddy, they will show me. You are finished. I'm being honest. I've said it before. It's only your friend that will tell you that your mouth is smelling. In this life, you need a comforter and a confronter. Now, I'm not taking you on a guilt mode. If you have done that before, seek a professional help. Do counseling, do therapy, get yourself back on point and switch. I've seen women that they will have issues in their marriage and they will be confiding in their kids. My daughter is my friend. My son is my friend. Sorry, they are not your friend. They are not. Don't be a pedophile. A pedophile is someone that sexually assaults a younger one, a child. When you allow your kids to experience adult stuff, you are a pedophile. It's not only sexual assault, it can be emotional, it can be psychological, it can be physical, but basically you are 100% a pedophile. So please excuse yourself, get another person, someone you can confide in, who is matured enough to help you and who is professionally inclinated to help you to handle your children or your challenges in your home. That's what I'm trying to say. Your challenges in your home. If that is not done and you keep poking, imposing, inflicting, infiltrating the minds of your children with your conflicts, you are living on a borrowed time in raising those kids. What you are going to be doing with those children is you are raising a drunkard, you are raising a crack smoker or cocaine smoker, you are raising a child that will watch pornography, you are raising a child that will go to prostitute house or be a prostitute herself, you are raising a child that will become all sorts. So many vices are going to show up in the life of that child. I think I have to explain that. So you will not think, oh, this woman, she's a prophet of doom. No, I am not. When there's a conflict in a home and the parents are putting the pressure on their children, what happens is you are inflicting pain in the souls of your children. Emotional wounds. Now, let me put it this way. We are tripartite being. You have a spirit, you have a soul, you live in a body. When you are reading, when you are in pain, rape, molestation, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, any form of abuse, and of course, chemistry, physics, biology, medicine, insurance, whatever vocation you choose, all sits in your soul. That is where the seat of any information is. Both trauma, abuse, fight, conflict in a home sits in your soul. Please listen to me carefully. I didn't want to start to become like, is she a prophet of doom? No. I'm coming in to explain the dynamics of what I'm saying. When you are raised by parents that are not emotionally stable, we are dealing with being sex-wise as parents. And sex is emotional, sex is spiritual, sex is psychological. So I'm bringing it to parenting because we're talking about being sex-wise as parents. I'm lumping it up with parenting. So when I say you are emotionally unstable, you act like a pendulum, you are over-involving in your children, you withdraw, you are like a, emotional roller coaster and all of that. What you are doing is you are messing up the minds of your children. You are messing up their emotions, or let me say you are messing up their soul. Soul is also the mind. You can relate it with, okay, my soul or my mind. So all is interwoven. The reason why I'm concerned and I'm intentional about this is very clear. We are living in a generation that is confusing. Hear me today. When we were growing, there was no internet. When we were growing, there was no cyberspace. When we were growing, we live in a community. We're communal in a relationship. You can be angry with one child. Maybe you are beating your child, and your neighbor will say, leave that child. Please don't kill the child. Even if you are beating a child, and your neighbor heard you or heard the baby cry or your child cries, and she does not come to salvage or come to intervene, you take offense. You want me to kill my child? You are not helping me to mediate. That is the kind of system we grew from. Now, hey, some of us are not living in neighborhood where we have people. You only live in your flat, in your self-contained apartment. There's no neighbor, and you are raising children. Think about what I'm saying. I'm saying a lot of things together. You know what is going to happen? Very simple. Those children will suck it in. They would put their pain. They will suppress and repress their pain when they are not allowed to express it and show anything to anybody. So you are just breeding a time bomb, an explosive bomb. That is who you are breeding. And it does not show. Because you know one thing that pains me a lot when we are raising kids in this kind of system or an environment is very clear. Your children will now bury their head in their boots. They will pass. You are now flaunting. I don't understand how this generation thinks. I've seen adults that they are emotionally wrecked and they are GMs, general managers, bankers, doctors, lawyers, pastors, engineers, and they are not okay. You will know that this person is not emotionally okay. It's just, he just passed his exams and became what the person had become because of, if I don't pass, my mother will kill me. My father will kill me. The money of cooperative. I'm suffering. Thank you for loving it. You will just bury your head and succeed and survive. Not because you are soulishly okay. I've seen doctors, I've said it in one of the episodes, I've seen doctors that smokes like chimney. And they know that smokers are liable to die young, but they smoke because the wound is in their soul. It's beyond cosmetic. It's beyond, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a pastor, I'm an engineer. Forget those ones. It's beyond, I've given my life to Christ. Maybe I should explain that. Because a lot of people have been saying, well, what about giving your life to Christ? Excuse you. When you are born again, it's your spirit that is born again. Your soul is not born again. Your body is not born again. And the seat of your soul or your mind is where education is. It's bigger than, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a banker. Those ones are information seated in your soul, in your mind. Now, the place of being born again is your spirit. If you have not given your life to Christ, you don't have a life in the spirit. We are tripartite being. Paul said to Christians, I'm just confirming, because a lot of people are confused, or they are troubled, or they don't understand the dynamics of my teaching when I'm dealing with issues. Issues, if it's not dealt with in the body of Christ, we are not going to have revival. We can have migration. Until the saints are restored, there will be no revival. Because you cannot give what you don't have. Now, let me quickly go back to your spirit. When you are not born again, if you have not given your life to Christ, you are not born again, your conscience is, your spirit is dead to God. So the only realm in which you are operating from is the realm of soul and the body. That was why Paul said to Christians in 1 Thessalonians 5:23, he said, I pray that your spirit, your soul, and your body be preserved blameless unto the coming of the Lord. David said, he makes me to lie down and he restores my soul. So your soul needs restoration even if you are born again. Can I say this? The moment you are born again and you are struggling with pornography, you are struggling with masturbation, you are struggling with extramarital affair, you are struggling with anger, you are struggling with all vices, after some time, it's going to choke your spirit man, that the more guilty you are, the more you will not be able to pray. That is why we say it in our recovery classes that addicts don't pray. There is no addict does not pray. You know why? Shame and guilt. You can't be guilty and go to God. You can show off with brethren, you know, but personal, working, consistent relationship with God, you don't have. Now we are living in a generation that people are now praying soulishly. Oh, so many prayer lines online. Pray, 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 pray. Are they having a personal prayer life with God in their closet without the mob, without the crowd? And that's why you see many of them, after the prayers, they go to strip club. They go to drink. They go to smoke. They go to different, you know, clubs. So they come to church. Now, let me say it this way. If you are born again and you are struggling, you know that. Now, it's different from struggling and having a mental illness. I'm talking about personality disorder. That's another dimension. But you are genuinely born again and you are struggling. What happens is clear. The moment this struggle continues, it chokes your spirit man. So you are not going to be enjoying your Christian life. You are not going to have joy because you are going in the circle of shame and guilt. Shame is something is wrong with me. Guilt is I've done something wrong. Somebody can help me to pin it down. Shame is something is wrong with me. Guilt is I've done something wrong. Now, you know the devil is an accuser. So when he keeps accusing you, I'm still talking about being sexualized as parents, but I need to clear this for people to know that giving your life to Christ does not change or deal with your baggages and your struggles. You need to clear yourself in that light, or else you are going to become a paradox to yourself. I've heard people say, okay, they told us to be born again. We are born again. We are still struggling. What's the problem? Paul said, there are things he wants to do that he did not do. The things he does not like doing is what he's doing. Thank you. He doesn't want to do. So there's a struggle. The struggle is in the soul or in the mind. That's why the Bible said be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, I think I've settled that. So when I'm talking about being emotionally unstable as in parenting, I'm saying that when you are not emotionally stable, X-ray does not see it, but your children smells it, they perceive it, they know it, they know when you are not okay. Have you seen children? And children are extremely sensitive. They will come and say, Mommy, what's the problem? Are you okay? Is everything fine? I love you, Mommy. I will take care of you. And you are wondering, who told this girl that I'm going through stuff? Who told this boy that I'm having problems? None. A child is sensitive. When they know that you are not emotionally stable as parents, you fight all the time. Not only your husband, the neighbors. Your children will say, Mommy, don't shout. Mommy, don't fight. Now, you know, the painful part of this thing that I'm telling you is this. I said it maybe last week. I can't remember. You can be raised from a monogamous home and be extremely dysfunctional. Monogamous home. Polygamy, you are superly dysfunctional, it's clear. Now, the monogamous house, meaning daddy is there, mommy is there, everybody is on point. The worst dysfunctionality there is terrible. Sometimes if your parents are not emotionally stable, you see fights, you see instability, you see unpredictability, you see anger, you see a lot of things being displayed. and listen. Your children are not the same. By the grace of God, I'm a mother of 3 boys. Their temperaments are not the same. There's one that is different from the other and the other. And they slept in the same womb. That's why people say that the womb of a woman is a passage. Is like a road that you ply. Now, if you have a child, I'm taking you somewhere this evening. I'm still on being sex-wise as parents. Now, you are not stable emotionally. You are struggling. Now, one of your kids, I'm talking about stability. One of your kids is an introvert. She does not talk much. He does not talk much. There are some kids that will say, Mommy, Daddy, why are you doing that? Like the ones I told you that the boys went to meet their mom and said, Daddy, please forgive Mommy. And they were going back and forth. The boy will go and prostrate. He will come back. And the man was feeling as if he's a man. I told you he's not a man. Now, imagine if one of those kids are in the class of an introvert that will not talk. I'm talking about being emotionally matured in parenting. If you are not emotionally mature, you are damaging your kids. Guess what happens? The child that is an extrovert will express herself, blah, 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 himself, boast, everything, boast, no problem. The one that is quiet in that monogamous home is dying internally. He or she is dying silently. Now, that death that we are talking about is not physical. That child can be a doctor, I've said it before, a banker, an engineer. But the damage is so bad that it is when the child begins to grow. And you will ask yourself, well, me and your daddy, we are together. No. If he's an introverted child, he or she reads meanings to everything. He does the eyes, cross the T's, and is not saying anything. So, such children raised in such a home, when you now notice, why is this guy on drugs? What happened? Then when you notice, it may not be drugs, it may be one rageaholic anger, one terrible fight, one terrible reaction. And you're wondering, what happened? Because you don't know your child, that child is a class and a personality on its own, or our own. Probably, I've talked about being introverted. Probably is the kind of a child that he has a strong-willed child. Whatever happens, he will take it. You beat the child, he will not cry. When you are raising children and you smack that child and the child is not crying, you are raising a rebel for your life. Take it to the bank. When I talk like this, I talk as an institution. I sit under the tutelage of people that understand the dynamics of this, and Africans, we don't. Africans, we don't. We don't understand the human nature. We don't understand how people reason. We don't know anything. And we now cloak it under religion. It's covert. So religion has confused a lot. Train up a child the way it should go. There's a rod in the hand of a child. You are sickening your life. Thank you. You are sickening your heart. You are lying to yourself. Now, if that child is the kind of a child that is strong-willed and will just shut everything and say, whatever, no problems. That's a rebel. That's a cultist. That's a girl that will dare to go and get pregnant and tell you to do your worst. Is somebody getting it? I'm talking about being sex-wise as parents. Go do your worst, mom, whatever. They'll go to school, they'll report you in school, say everything is just adamant. Now, this is a monogamous home. I'm not talking about polygamy now. I'm talking about home that dad and mom are superly comfortable and they are together. If you are not emotionally stable, let me say this to you and hear me clearly. I said it in one of the episodes. When you want to vent with someone that can help you. Stop bottling up. Stop covering up. Anything you cover will decay. I think I said it lately. Thank you for saying it's true. Anything you cover will decay. It's a matter of time. And you know one thing that I've realized that is also painful is most of these things happen. You know, I actually held my breath to say this. By the time you realize how bad it is with your children, sometimes it's late. sometimes it's late. When I say it's late, God is a rewriter of history. He changes stories. But just imagine raising your children in a healthy environment. You're not aggressive, you are not a bully, you are peaceful. You are not transferring pain, you are not transferring aggression, you are stable, you are predictable, you don't get angry, you know the kind of kids you're going to raise. Super kids. Amazingly super kids. Intelligent, they will have brain, beauty, and character. Somebody help me to write it down. When you raise your kids with a healthy emotional life, you are going to be proud of them mentally, emotionally, physically. I said something now. That's why when I talk like this, it's not me talking, I'm prophesying as I'm commanded. I didn't even know what I said that I said you should pin down. If you remember, please help me to pin it down, because I was saying it again now and I couldn't even pick it again. There are some parents, I've talked about not being emotionally stable as parents. What about backseat parents? Those are wrong parenting. Backseat. They are just dormant. Nothing about the kids. They don't involve themselves. Hey! If you are married to such men, carry the man along. Let him make a statement to the progress of your children. You are raising a child that does not have a hero. Every child's father is their hero. You are hearing me now. Wisdom. I'm teaching you. Okay. You said they will have brain, beauty, and character. Thank you. Thank you so much. Brain, beauty, and character. You know, when I was saying it again, I didn't say it again because it just left me. I'm just saying what I'm saying because I thank you. I'm just saying it because as it's coming, I'm saying it. So help me to be catching the moment. Catch those words and let's echo it. I'll echo it when I get it. Thank you. Thank you. Let me say this. If you have a parent, you are a parent, you have a spouse that is a dominant parent, he sits at the back seat and watch. It is when your child is now not doing well that will now be concerned. Please carry him along and create, a woman has 38 solid powers. You can always create an atmosphere. But if you are not emotionally stable like the one I said, you cannot create a healthy atmosphere for your children to thrive mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. They will not thrive. So don't ever be a woman or a man that is not emotionally stable. Now, because women train kids much, that's why I'm tilting towards a woman. The same thing happens to the man. We have some mothers that are laid back. They are at the back seat. Is the husband that will take the children to school? Is the one that will monitor homework? Is the one? When their daughters are menstruating, is the man. Is the man that goes to buy sanitary towel. It's as bad as that. Please, sir. I've talked about women. Sir, please carry your spouse along. We need the two of them to make a healthy parenting. Now, because of things that we go through at times and the challenges we have, we tilt to do something that is delicate. We try to fill our emotional emptiness and be feeling good. You don't know you are destroying your kids. Let me be practical. Maybe your husband slapped you, for instance, and is paining you and you are sad. You don't have anybody probably to talk to and all of that. You now sat your kids down and say, see what daddy has done. That is not good. That is not fair. Daddy has da. You are happy at the moment. And your children are saying, yes, that is not good. You feel good. That's how emotions operate. You feel very light. You feel comfortable. You are happy that at least you have reported your husband or your wife. You are feeling good. That feelings is for a moment. The more you do that, the more your kids are damaged emotionally. I've said that. The more they hate marriage, the more they don't want to settle down, the more they hate a man or a woman. That's the truth. I've had cases of many children that say, I don't want to be married. I hate marriage. I can't be married. Some of you've said it before. If you are from a dysfunctional home, I didn't say anything about polygamy. Maybe next week I'll be talking about what happens in polygamous setting. I'm talking about home that, in the morning, Early in the morning, I will rise and praise the Lord. You do family altar, but your life is not altered. Please note it. Write it for me. You do devotion, but you are not devoted. You are not devoted to your kids. They know that in your family, you have 3 parties. PDP one in Nigeria, if you are watching from other parts of the world. In Nigeria, we have different parties. We have a party that is the same party 1 and 2 and 3. So in your house, they know, oh, this one is daddy's boy. This one is mommy's boy. This one is daddy's girl. This one is mommy's girl. Please, I beg you in the name of the Almighty God, don't ever sing that song to your children. That one child is daddy's child. Listen, children are not wired like us. If you say anything to me and I don't like, I can process it and take it off my back. Children don't process jack. They don't take anything off their back, please. Some of us will remember what somebody said to you 200 years ago. I remember because I was not a good girl when I was growing up. My mother would say, you can't bury me. You are not a child. I wish I had washed away your menstrual period. When I wake up to see you, I want to go and sleep. These are the things I listened to growing up. Some of you have heard my testimony. That was what messed me up. What wounds, what crushes, watch what to say before your children and to your children. Even when you are angry, watch it. Don't call your child, you are too slow, you are too forward, you are a dummy, you are stupid. Don't. They go back to think about it, please. Thank you for helping me to write those things down. You do family altar, but your life is not altered. You do family devotion, you are not devoted to each other. You are not devoted. You know why I'm screaming like this? I'm handling some cases lately, and I pity this generation in the next 10 years. Oh God. If you hear what I hear on a daily basis. Now, let me digress a little bit. I was supposed to be on radio today to talk about the woman that was pursuing her husband's concubine or something. I'll still go and study it, and had an accident and died. Would those children that is raised in that family, would they be good children? Now, let's not try to, potty anything. Let's bring it to the table. Answer me, will those kids be good kids? They saw their mommy pursuing daddy's girlfriend and died in an accident. You have just raised another kidnapper. Because we react to pain differently. I'm saying a lot of things. Please help me to broadcast this and share it on Facebook. Share it. Let everybody know. Because people don't know the reason why they are struggling in raising their kids, and they are concerned and they don't know what to do. If they don't know. And ignorance is not an excuse. Because I don't believe in the law of gravity does not mean that the law of gravity does not exist. That's the truth. It existed. There is law of gravity. Anything that goes up must come down. Anything that goes up must come down. Anything that goes up must come down. Please. When you look at your children and you have a little bit of concern, I'm not saying you and your husband, you are not together. That's not what I'm saying. You can be together and be so dysfunctional, unhealthy, emotionally. And it's your emotion you use in relating to your world. When they say that doctor is a good doctor, it's your emotions. That pastor is a good pastor, it's your emotions. Oh, I love that engineer. He's so calm, cool, chilling. It's your emotions. Nobody sees. X-ray will not look at your emotions when you are going through struggles. So if you feel comfortable, thank you. If you feel life will be tough for them, only God knows the emotional trauma. Those kids, thank you. Thank you for replying. Those children, they cannot be. Or is it Osinachi's children that will see their dad driving their mommy's car and see her way to climb a bicycle? You heard it on the news. I'm not the one saying these things. So before you judge people, before you conclude about their lives, before you start, shaking your heads, please check where they're coming from. This is the root. Parenting, be wise as parents. Be sex-wise, be sex-wise. Everything is all in sex-wise. As parents. Look at what I'm reading here. I was raised in a 2-parent home, and my brother and I are very dysfunctional. Why not? Some people does not even know. Now, let me say this. I appreciate the interaction. I love this. Do you know something that is so scary? Some don't even understand blended family. Maybe your father had you and she now got married. How do I integrate my life to the life of this new woman? Nobody does that. And you know widows now, or widowers, the moment their wife dies, the next thing they are looking for is a nanny. Sometimes they get married, there's no love anywhere. They are not looking for nannies. What is on their head is, who will help me to raise these children? They are still small. So by the time your kids have grown up, the woman that came home as a nanny, and most ladies, they are not smart enough to seek counsel and ask questions. If any widow tells you, hear me now, if any widow tells you wants to marry you, hear me clearly, a widower, sorry, ask questions. He's depressed. He has not even processed the loss of his wife. Why am I'm not doing women's program. I'm doing being sex wise as parents. Well, children are involved though, so I'm still on point. I don't want to digress. I'm still on point. Now, my mom was emotional and verbally abusive, and my dad is a sit-back person. You see? Now, thank you. When you don't get involved, I'm back on track. When you don't get involved in the raising of your kids, parents, I'm not saying your husband is not busy. I'm not saying this and that. Any opportunity you have, you can even create an atmosphere. Okay, we are cooking a nice meal today. Arrange something big, dynamic. Listen to me. Let me explain this to you. I'm in the studio. I'm recording now. In this studio, I have microphones. I have speakers. Light is on. I have lightnings. Hear me. If you and your husband, you are not okay, you fight, you react, you have issues, all sorts happens to you. In this studio now, let us assume in this studio, the only thing that can happen to these gadgets that I've just mentioned is for them to be dusty if there's a fight in this studio. If you have children in this studio and you fight for 25 years, the children are growing with the storm. They are developing with the crisis. So don't allow any time of wisdom, listen, we need a lot of wisdom. Of wise counsel, wise attitude. Don't let it slip off. Slip off. Don't allow some moments of memories. I'm making some statement here. Arrange, daddy, I know you are busy, but we all 5 of us, if you are of my family of 5, 6 of us, only me, you, daddy, we give us a date for a dinner. Let's go out together. I know what I'm saying. Those children are losing something. They are missing something. Listen to me. I know. Take these things to the bank. It's everywhere. It's just that Africa, we don't get involved. We don't know anything. A sit-back daddy, they are dormant. They allow abuse. Thank you, my sister. You just told me now that your dad was a sit-back dad, and you were abused by your mom, and your dad will not say, don't do that. Listen to me. When you are raising children, when you are working on children, you do it as a team. If it's daddy that is correcting a child, make sure you are doing it together. If it's abuse, even if you don't want to confront your child and your husband or your spouse and say, my dear, that beating is too much. I think it was done out of anger. Do it at the back. Say it to your husband in the room. Arrange another reconciliation meeting in the presence of the child. You are not weak by accepting and taking responsibility when you are raising your kids. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. If your son, your daughter does not notice that mommy says sorry, daddy says sorry, how would you expect them to say sorry? This should be parenting classes for couples who to help them to raise. Yes, I'm talking about being sex wise as parents. It's a parenting classes, actually. Because you know what I'm saying, let me explain what I'm even saying in another light of being sexualized as parents. Hear me. You see, when you are raising children like this, you are raising kids like this, and they are not healthy, when they have wound in their soul, I've said something, if you are just coming in, you can go back to listen. If their soul is wounded because of the trauma, the pain, the conflict, the consistent fight, and all of that, what will happen is, when you are wounded in your soul, you start looking, it's like having headache. You want to take paracetamol. It's like having stomach upset, you want to take something to take it to settle your tummy. Same is your soul. So when I say you are raising a drug addict, you are raising an angry child, you are raising a cultist, what I'm saying is simple. You are allowing your children to use drugs, sex, club, to medicate the wound that is in their soul. So simple. It's as now somebody said so. Yes, your soul. Your body, if you're having headache, you feel headache on your head, you take paracetamol, you take analgesic. The same way, when you are feeling headache in your soul, you are feeling stomach upset in your soul, you have cancer in your soul, you have leukemia, cancer of the bone in your soul, you have oh, I don't know the name of sicknesses, I don't want to know. In your soul, you will medicate it. Now, this medication of pain now differs. Like I told us, we react to pain differently. Some of us, when a thing happens, we shut down. Some will talk. Some will just keep quiet and be waiting for a time to show you. You know how many kids are on drugs and they are telling me, I'm going to use it to torture you as my dad and my mom. I will shame you. Why would you raise a child that will shame you, if not for the fact that you messed up in raising your kids? And such sit-back parents, what do? They minimize problems. They trivialize problems. Do you know, let me tell you something today. I handled a case of a girl that has slept with over 15 pastors in her life. And when we do therapy for people, we ask questions. We can be there for hours, for days. We probe into their life. That's why if somebody say, oh, it is expensive to do therapy. No, it's only in Africa we treat therapists like anyhow. You go to a professional, it's 1 hour. Today I've spent 6 hours with a family. And it's just the beginning. And the session I booked for them was 8 hours. Or 8 sessions. And 1 hour an hour is a session. Go anywhere in the world, walking into a therapy is 1 hour. As a matter of fact, the moment your 1 hour is done, whether you are happy or not, they move it. Thank you for confirming it. This is life. They move on to another hour. They schedule another appointment. It's here we want free lunch for free town. It doesn't work that way. I do therapy and I charge. I charge for the sessions. I'm a Christian counselor and a therapist. And I have Muslim clients because the same soulish problem is the same. It doesn't change anything. It's the same. We are all human beings. She said, I'm talking about sit-back parents, weakness, bad parenting. She said when she was growing up, her daddy would consistently say, you are all girls, you are a waste of my sperm. And you know, the painful part is this. It is when we start therapy that people now speak up. People don't even know the reason why they are doing what they are doing. They don't know why they are acting the way they are acting. They don't know how they are reacting to the way they are reacting. They don't know the root and the source of their problem. They just know that I have a problem. They just know. No, but they don't know the roots. And that's why one of the things we do to start any therapy session, we do listen and we are able to trace the roots. Why did I marry a narcissist? Why did I marry a man that will be treating me like an animal? Why is it that this man, I cannot do anything, he gets angry as if he's mad? Those are the things that happens. It's a foundational thing. You know, the father has said it so consistently, all of you are girls. Now only girls she born. Now, except you are not the one that produced the pregnancy. It's a man that determines the sex of a baby. Please you better understand that. It is what you drop to the ovary of your wife that she grows and gives back to you as a child. She now said the father treated them like an idiot because they are all girls. And I asked her, what was your first sexual exposure? She said, ma, I went out, my parents sent me to go and stay with a family friend, and 4 guys came and raped me. And ma, I couldn't go home to tell anybody. She a father that said you are a waste of our spermatozoa. Is that the father that will come and fight and say, you raped my daughter? I've handled rape cases. I've gone to the police station to defend rape cases. Hear me. Most times, the parents back off. I said, hey, we don't want to do case. The man will send me an amount I will give you. Can you use money? I feel like screaming. To bring back the dignity, the worth, the value of your daughter that is raped. You can't. So such like that, they minimize the problem. They trivialize it. They take it simple. You don't. This is your life. You don't. See the way I'm shouting. I'm so emotional about this. Very, very emotional. I said today, this girl loves God. She sings. She has slept with over 20 pastors. I don't like exaggeration. I know it's more than 15. That's why I said 15, but over 20 pastors in her town. And when people don't discuss their issues, you don't even know what they are covering under lipstick, powder, makeup, foundation, make your face look good. Under it is trauma, is pain, suffering. Any question? Trauma and emotional anguish leads to depression and mental health issue, which is now common amongst our young adults. Listen, I said we're already on an explosive bomb. A child today is an adult tomorrow. Thank you, Statistic, for that. A child today is an adult tomorrow. Do you understand my point here? I'm making one statement. Let me explain this to you. I'll soon be leaving you now. Listen. The moment all of us on this platform and the people you are going to share it with does not get this to resonate in them, in the next 15 years, I told you about 2 episodes ago that an 18-year-old boy pregnated 5 girls. 5 girls. 5 girls. True story. I actually played one. A 3-year-old child masturbating. You heard it now. Go to YouTube. Follow me there. Sexual parenting. You will hear the voice note. The mother sent me a voice note in Yoruba and interpreted it to English. So it's not far-fetched. We are close to the bomb. Or we should just enjoy rapture and all of us will go to heaven. But what we are going to be seeing in the next generation, we can't handle it. I'm telling you the truth. You saw the girl that was dancing, was having sex, and it was all over social media. Sent to a private school in Dubai. Proper sex. A teenager. She would dance on Instagram. She has almost 500,000 followers. I can't remember. They have pulled the page down now. And it's parenting. So it does not know age. It does not know education. It does not know religion. Follow me and let's clean this nation. Let's clean our generation. Let me drop this. I will leave now. I'm screaming now. I'm yelling. Take care of your kids. Please spread the news. You know why? Your child that is well nurtured, well cared for, well pampered, are going to marry, mix with these girls, these guys. And you know what parents are doing now? They are raising narcissists as kids. Please, let me just go. Let me go. Let me go. Allow me to leave. Please, do me a favor. This video should go everywhere. Because we are raising generations. We are raising political leaders. We are raising engineers. And if you raise such kids and they are not healthy, have you ever sat down to think? You want to build. Buildings are collapsing now. You want to build. Because you want to make money, you now use poor quality materials. That's what you use. If you were raised healthily, to have conscience, to fear to listen to your conscience. I don't want to say fear God. To listen to your conscience. Your conscience is part of God in you. Everybody has it. If you are wrong, you know you are wrong. If you are unhealthy, you know you're unhealthy. Your conscience tells you. If you lie, you know you have told a lie. Even if you don't forget religion now. Please just help me to share this. Those on Facebook, share it to your contact. I'm contented with my life. I appreciate what God is doing. I'm touching my this kind of ministry is not a conspicuous ministry, and I don't want to be conspicuous. There's nothing I'm looking for. I just want to be a blessing. Because listen, until the saints are restored, we are going to have migration. They move from one church to the other. They go to church, but church is not in them. They go to mosque, but mosque is not in them. They are free thinkers, but they are thinking. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much. A blessing to our generation. Thank you. Please help me to go out of your way to involve and engage other people to listen to this. This is the foundation of everything. Your health, your wealth, your happiness, the happiness of your children is determined by what I am seeing today. Wow, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone that is here. Are you sure you want to call in? If you want me to, let me go. There's so much that is bothering my head. You have to be conspicuous, so we need all the information we can get. Thank you, no problems. Thank you very much. Please help me to share it in various groups, send it to your friends. Let somebody take time to listen and understand the dynamics of family system. I have a lot actually to share with us. Please, let me quickly tell you, I have one of my books, is She Matters Devotional. You can actually order for it. This is one of my books. 600 questions you must ask before, is it 600 questions you must ask in your relationship? I have enough. Take your life back after many years of abuse. I also have Price of the Perfume. I've written 64 books. Some of them are out of stock, but I'm thank you. Once again, I'm grateful for thank you. Everyone, I'm so grateful for the privilege to be in your various lives today. I appreciate you dearly. I'll see you next week. Next week, I'm going to start with question, ask Funke Adetuberu. Then I'm going to do the second one on is it toxic or not, then being sex-wise as parents. So, see you next week. I appreciate you. God bless you. Bye.